Oaks Baseball is live from San Luis Obispo. Welcome everybody inside the broadcasting booth for game number 17 of the Oaks season, along with Jonah Malkin. My name is Jonathan Rifkind. As the Oaks, coming off a tough loss yesterday, 10-5 to the Academy Barons, head north to take on the San Luis Obispo Blues, the Central Division rivals. Looking to duke it out on the baseball diamond. Jonah, let's get right into things. Obviously, the Oaks lost two tough ones to the Barons just over the last 2 days. The offense has been lackluster. The pitching just hasn't been there. What does Coach David Solis's squad need to do to bounce back in a game that really means a lot, especially now that the Oaks and the Ventura Halos are tied for second in the CSCL Central? The Forcers now have a full game lead, and the Blues are not too far behind. Yeah, they're 3-5 in the Central Division, but they get a couple more wins under their belt, and they're in the thick of things as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first thing is the Oaks do a lot better when they get off to early starts and early leads. They're a team that like to generate a lot of hits, and a lot of that stems from the pitching. When they get good pitching on the mound early on, that normally helps elevate the level of play for the entire team. And they got off to a good start yesterday against the Barons, had a 2-0 lead midway through 2 innings, but unfortunately, because of some errors in the infield, Brandon Lewis had 2 errors yesterday. That's kind of what held this team back and enabled the Barons to creep their way back in and eventually generate enough hits. And then the grand slam to just top things off, that kind of held them back. So I think if they can start off early, generate some nice hits, and not have too many infield errors, they should put themselves in a nice position in this one.
The Oaks did score first in last night's game, taking a 2-0 lead, but the Barons scored 3 in the bottom of the second in response to the Oaks' big top of the half of the inning. And from there, it was kind of history. The Oaks ended up losing to the Barons. Now, the Oaks and the Blues have already played 3 times this season. The Oaks are 2 of 3 in that 3-game series a couple weeks ago back at Cal Lutheran University. And now the first of 3 games where the Oaks have to come up to the San Luis Obispo Stadium and Sinsheimer Park and play the Barons. Jonah, the history between these two teams tells us that at the end of the day, no matter what the standings are, it is always a competitive game. Last time the Oaks were here, they had the playoffs on the line last year. They were down 5-4 in the 9th inning, came back and won, and eventually were awarded the wild card spot in the CCL playoffs. The Blues need that win as well to get into the playoffs. So there is history between these two teams in a competitive fashion. And you can't say, yeah, well, you know, the Blues are 3-5 in the CCL and 12-10 overall, so they're an inferior team. Because at the end of the day, in CCL baseball, all of these teams are competitive. As we saw with the Barons, they were 2-11 going into the series with the Oaks. And then they ended up winning both those games in what eventually became a trap series for the team. How important for both of these teams is today's game? I mean, you talk about the tenacity and the competitiveness off early, but how do you keep it going for all 9 innings and then eventually for the next 2 games?
Well, the first thing you have to factor in is a lot of these teams haven't gotten their full roster of players yet. It's possible that the Blues didn't get all their guys back until a few weeks after potentially the rest of their seasons concluded for the colleges that they play for. So that obviously bulks up their lineup. And for the Oaks, this is a crucial game for them. You're talking about losing to a team that you were at least coming into against the Barons expecting to win, given the fact that you beat them 7-4 the first time around and you lose one at home, and then you drop it 10-5 on the road. And really, the game could have been a lot worse when you really think about it. The Oaks were able to muster up a couple hits down the stretch to increase or decrease the deficit just to 5. But really, this is big because it's another road test. It's a hostile environment. You have, you know, roughly a little over 1,000 people potentially here in the stands and watching this game. So this is going to be, I think, the first real test for them where they're coming into a hostile environment, they're playing on the road, and they have to come out and perform. And this will really give us a greater sense of the type of depth and the resiliency of this Oaks squad.
The Oaks on the season are 1-1 in road games. They beat the Orange County Riptide 5-3 at Concordia, and then dropped to one yesterday to the Academy Barons, 10-5. This is the middle of a 3-game road stand for the Oaks. They'll be headed to Santa Barbara tomorrow to take on the Foresters in the third and final consecutive road game in the middle of the 8 games and 8 days stretch for the Oaks. So far, only 1-3 looking to change their fortunes here. But we're going to hit a break. When we come back, national anthem, starting lineups, and of course, your first pitch. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV, simulcasted onto YouTube. We'll be right back. Yeah, because now they all. So Pat has our commissioner of the CCL has been very slow in uploading our new roster with all of our numbers. We've given to him like 4 different times over the last week. I can give you everybody's numbers if you need. Everybody that's playing right now has a number, I believe. Um, but yeah, here, if you give it to me, I can try to write them down for you. Yeah. Oh, this isn't even close to our updated roster. DeSigli. DeSigli. Joey DeSigli. He's more than a fan. This guy owns the world. But he's legit. Yeah, but what he actually says is he makes them what he says I actually care about. What number's Lanning? 26. He pitched yesterday. Did you have your thing from yesterday? He's 26. Okay. What number's Lambert? 12. Harpenau's 40. David Gatos isn't even here. Alonso Garcia Back here at St. Shamrock Stadium, San Luis Obispo Baseball Stadium. Jonah Malkin, Jonathan Rifkin, as we hit the national anthem. We're going to send it off to our PA announcer here for the national anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose rough stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Beautiful national anthem trio here from Zinshimer Park in San Luis Obispo Stadium. Welcome back, everybody. Jonah Malkin, Jonathan Rifkin. The Oaks get set to take on the Blues. We'll give you the starting lineups first for the visiting Conejo Oaks, coming in at 11-5 overall, 7-5, in the CCO. Kicking things off for the Oaks is the speedy center fielder from Ole Miss, DJ Miller. Max Weinstein will follow him in the number 2 spot. Playing second base from Cal Lutheran, Grant Mayu is playing short from San Diego State. He's in the 3 spot. Cleaning things up for those Oaks from Ole Miss and playing third base is Chase Cockrell. Brandon Lewis occupies the 5th spot out in right field from Pierce. Jordan McFarland is in left field from the University of Arkansas. Tony Santana is in the 7th spot over at first base from Hawaii Pacific. Juan Gonzalez is catching for the Oaks in the 8th spot from Oklahoma Baptist. And the round things up for the Oaks is the designated hitter, Zane Williams from Texas Tech. On the mound for the Oaks will be Joey DeCiglia from CSUN. For the San Luis Obispo Blues, Ricky Martinez is playing shortstop from Sac State, and leading things off following him is Drew Judson out in center field for Hendrix College. In the number 3 spot is Bryce Vizentano, playing second base from the University of Alabama, Birmingham. And the cleanup spot is Nikos Jehoutimus from Corpus Christi. He's designated hitter in today's game. Adam Fogle follows him out in right field from Hawaii. Miles Emerson catching today's game from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo is in the 6th spot. Marco Murillo is in the 7th spot out in left field. Tate Samuelson is at third base in the 8th spot. And Robbie Silva is in the 9th spot from San Francisco State over at first base. On the mound, it's Mac Lardner from Gonzaga University, the lefty. In 10 1/3 inning pitch, has pitched 1.7, or has a 1.74 ERA to go along with 10 strikeouts and 7 walks as he deals the first pitch. In for his strike to DJ Miller.
Yeah, DJ Miller coming off an impressive day yesterday, 4 for 6. Loved the decision to have him lead off for the Oaks, especially as we mentioned, a tough road game. Let him set the tone early for the Oaks.
The 0-1 pitch fired in from Lardner is popped high to right center field. Running back on it is Fogle, but he's going to leave it for Drew Judson, the center fielder, to make the catch for out number 1. For Lardner, he just has to be as methodical as possible, trying to keep this Oaks offense at bay. They were held to 10 hits, yesterday, but they left 13 on base, and that is a stat that Coach Shaliz is not happy with as Max Weinstein steps in. He was on a 14-game hitting streak that was snapped yesterday. He went 0 for 5 as Lardner deals the first pitch, and it's going to go out of play for strike number 1.
Yeah, and I expect a better showing from Weinstein today. He's one of the most prolific offensive hitters for the Oaks and in the CCL. You don't expect him to be in a slump much longer.
0-1 pitch is swung and a miss. Actually fouled, I guess you should say. 0-2 the count now to the Cal Lutheran product. Led the CLU Kingsmen to Division III National Championship last month. Batted 328 headed into his senior year as the 0-2 pitch is fired from Lauder. That one is fouled way out of play here for strike number 2. St. Schomburg Stadium is a pretty historical ballpark out here in San Luis Obispo. It used to be played by the Cal Poly Mustangs before they built their own stadium. So the 0-2 pitch runs just outside for ball 1. Now it is played by the local high school here, along with a huge fan base, probably close to 1,000 plus people here in St. Schomburg. The 1-2 pitch is cut and missed for strike 3. Weinstein is down swinging the first strikeout of the game for Mac Lardner, and there are 2 quick outs here for Grant Mayu.
Now up, number 9, shortstop, Grant Mayu.
Mayu sets in from San Diego State and waits on the first pitch for strike number 1. Mayu in yesterday's game was 0 for 3, but he reached base 3 of the 5 times he stepped up as he rips the second pitch he sees in the left field, but Murillo is right there, the spirit out of the air for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on bases. The Oaks are retired in order. We're through half an inning here from San Luis Obispo. Oaks and the Blues are tied 0-0. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back. No, I fucked up. I said the Oaks are down. Actually, the Oaks are tied. I bought my little these letters and he just got them. I didn't tell him what I got him. I got him these letters. And they're sick. I didn't realize they were going to look that good. Like, I knew they were going to look good, but they look really cool. Yeah. Got it. You got it. Chopped is only on ground balls. Only use chopped, and don't use it every single time it's on ground ball. Grounded at the 2 hopper, it's speared, it's spliced, it's roped, it's lined, it's tapped over to third, blooped. All right, as we come back here with the bottom of the first inning for the Blues. Ricky Martinez will step in from Sacramento State. Lost in the regionals to Stanford this past year. The shortstop facing off against the lefty Joey DeSigli from Cal State Northridge, who's transferring in the fall as he fires the first pitch. It's roped into right field. Running in on it is Lewis, and he can't make the grab. Rounding first and going to second is Martinez, and that's going to be a double to lead things off here for the slow Blues in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, great job by Martinez, setting the tone early for the Blues. Lead off double. That's exactly what you want if you're looking for a good start from the Blues in this game.
Just the start they need if they want to get out ahead early. That's the key for the Blues, getting out ahead early and staying ahead if they want to take one from the Oaks. The Oaks on the season have taken 2 of the 3 that the teams have played against each other. All 3 were played at Cal Lutheran at the beginning of the season. Showing bunt and missing is Drew Judson as the wild pitch goes way over the head of Gonzalez behind the plate. That'll advance Martinez over to third on the wild pitch, and now there's a runner in prime scoring position with nobody away here in the bottom of the first. The count is 1-0 to the Hendrix College product.
Yeah, that's not the way you want to start off. You cannot afford early on to throw these wild pitches over the head. Gonzalez is a great catcher. He's able to corral a lot of balls, but that's too much to ask for the Oklahoma Baptist product.
Judson Playing center field in today's game. He's wearing number 9 on his back. I'll give you a uniform watch in just a second. So 1-0 pitch from DeCigli is fired in there, cut on and missed for strike 1. The Oaks are in their baby blue uniforms with white letters on the front, outlined by navy blue coloring with navy blue letters on the back. Pinstriped uniforms for the Blues with navy blue letters on the front and navy blue letters on the back. The 1-1 pitch from DeCigli is in the dirt. Good block by Gonzalez behind the plate, and that'll keep the runner at bay, but brings the count to 2 balls and a strike. For Judson on the season, batting over 300 out of that number 2 spot. A couple RBIs as well. So he takes the 2-1 pitch deep into left center field, running in on his Miller. He makes the grab, testing the arm as Martinez. The throw comes in, but it's way off. And that would be a sacrifice fly out to center, and the Blues take a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, and Judson, nice job. They didn't ask for much from him. All he had to do was hit that one deep enough into the outfield. And Miller made a nice job of making the grab, but unfortunately that's what happens when you let a guy get over to third early in the game. All he needs is a quick fly out, and he can tag from third and come home.
That's going to bring up Price Vizentainer now as the first pitch to the right is taken at the knees but called strike. Vizentainer on the season batting .385 with 4 RBIs. And 2 home runs as well, along with 2 triples as the 0-1 pitch is high and outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away. Nobody on, but 1 has come across in the inning here on a hit. 1-0 the score. Blues lead the Oaks. Sigley deals the 1-1 pitch. It's popped foul out of play. And now DeCigli is ahead in the count 1-2.
Yeah, and the one thing that DeCigli's done a nice job of is not throwing too many pitches in the inside around the strike zone, forcing the batters to swing on more outside pitches.
The slider is chopped foul towards third base, so we'll do it again at 1-2. Oaks coming off a 10-5 loss to the Barons yesterday, the second worst loss of the season behind the 15-7 loss against the Riptide last week. As the 1-2 pitch is a curveball up high for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away, 1 across in the inning. 1-0 our score. As the fans continue to trickle in here to Sinsheimer. The 2-2 pitch is fired in and ripped foul. And we'll do it again at 2-2. Nice setting here from Sinsheimer. Orange seats, mostly occupied, and also the hill behind that allows fans to put down some blankets and have a picnic. The 2-2 pitch from DeCigli runs upstairs, and now a full count looming for Price Vizentainer from the University of Alabama, Birmingham. Hey, Jonah, what sport are they bringing back?
I believe it's going to be football.
You got it. The 3-2 pitch runs up and away for ball 4. Vizentainer, who was down on the count 1-2, is able to come back and draw a walk. That's the first walk on the day for DeCigli. Runner on now, 1 away. And for those who don't remember, back when the Oaks played the Blues 2 weeks ago, I guess 3 weeks ago now, how time is flying. I asked Jonah for the trivia question of the day what the University of Alabama Birmingham school, what sport they took away and are bringing back, and he actually didn't get it right. But I'm glad it is ingrained in his brain now. He is only 2 for 5 on the season in trivia. Actually, I think he's 2 for 6 because he didn't get Jerry Sloan correct the other day. So, well, I have one waiting for him today. We'll see if he can redeem himself here. 1 on, 1 away. Nicholas Jehudimus stepping in and takes the first pitch high for ball 1. Nikos Jehudimus goes to Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Joined the team late. He's in the cleanup spot today. In 3 games, he's batting .300 with 2 RBIs. As the 1-0 pitch is swung and miss for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away, 1 on. 1-0 the score. The Blues up over the Oaks. Feel free to tweet at us at @Caneo_Oaks. He's at Jonah_Malk, and I'm at Johnny Riff with 1 F at the end. Or live chat with us in the live chat box on our YouTube stream. As DeCigli toes the rubber, checks the runner, and will fire it over the first, but getting back easily is Vizentainer. By the way, for Vizentainer on the season, does not have a stolen base, so I wouldn't worry too much if I'm DeSigley on the mound. Checks the runner again, though. The 1-1 upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. And for DeSigley, he's been missing a lot of pitches high and away, Jonah. Do you think that he's shying away from these batters, and that's really what's hurting him?
Well, I think he's trying to keep his pitches away from the inside. That's what a lot of these Blues players like, is those inside pitches. They can ground in the gap. He's trying to keep it away from them.
2-1 pitch is a slider at the knees for a strike. It was swung and missed nonetheless. That'll leave the count at 2-2, 1 on, 1 away. 1 run around, 1 hit, 1 run, no errors here for the Blues. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Oaks as they were retired in order in the top of the first inning. This is the 4th of 6 meetings between these two teams. The Oaks so far lead the season series 2-1. As DeSigley deals the 2-2 pitch upstairs again. Ball 3.
Yeah, and DeSigley's got to keep himself composed and trust his throws. He's trying to adjust and modify his pitches when he's just got to stick to what's gotten him so far, and being a strike pitcher, just got to play confident on the mound.
3-2 pitch, runner goes, it drops low, but a late called strike 3 by the umpire. And that is out number 2, much to the chagrin of the fans here at Sinsheimer. That'll be a strikeout looking. The first for DeSigley. The runner does advance, however. So that'll be a stolen base for Visintainer, but played with former Oak Eric Ramirez at the University of Hawaii this past year. Lowers that stance as the barrel bat over his right shoulder. The first pitch fired in is outside for a ball. 1 run, a hit, no errors for the Blues. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 away, 1 on here. Or catcher's indecision, but nonetheless it'll be ended up scored as a stolen base. And that'll bring up Adam Fogel now with 2 away and a runner in scoring position. The right fielder from Hawaii will step in. In 5 games for Fogel, he's batting .286 with an RBI and a home run as well. Joe Martinez led things off for the Blues with a double. He ended up scoring after advancing a third on a wild pitch on a sacrifice fly. Visintainer walked, and then Jehudimus struck out. That's where we have gotten to where we are thus far in the inning. Bottom of the first. The 1-0 pitch from DeSigley is up high again. Ball 2, and he has really been struggling placing those fastballs in the strike zone. Most of them have missed up and away.
Yeah, and that's why you see the Blues batters staying patient, looking for a walk potentially.
DeSigley checks the runner at second, toes the rubber, peers and fires. The 2-0 pitch, a breaking ball, nicks the outside corner for a strike. 2 balls and a strike here to the Hawaii Rainbow Warrior.
Yeah, and that was a nice job from DeSigley. He kept the ball low. That was one of his first low pitches he's thrown that's caught the corner of the strike zone.
The 2-1 pitch, a curveball, another one at the knees as well in the outside corner. That'll leave an account at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2's across the board now, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 away, 1 on here, and a run around in the bottom of the first inning. Blues up 1-0. As DeSigley toes the rubber, comes set, checks the runner at second, and the southpaw delivers the 2-2 swing and missed. For strike 3, Fogel goes down for the second consecutive strikeout, 2 on the game for DeSigley. And we are out of the first inning. 1 run comes around on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We're going to hit a break. The other end, the top of the second inning. Blues lead it 1-0. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back. Stinchheimer Park and then San Luis Baseball Stadium. The entire area is Stinchheimer. Even though it says San Luis Obispo. Because last year when I said Stinchheimer here, I was told that it wasn't Stinchheimer. So it is Stinchheimer Stadium still. Right. Oh, okay. So it is Stinchheimer Park. Okay. Middle of the order here for the Oaks as Chase Cockrell steps in and takes the first pitch from Lardner, low for ball one. Cockrell from Ole Miss. Swing that bat over his right shoulder. Lardner deals the 1-0 pitch. Swung on a miss for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Blues lead 1-0 here. It's the top of the second. Oaks trying to dig their way back. The 1-1 pitch runs outside and low. 2 balls and 1 strike now. Cockrell with 2 home runs on the season, but has offensively been struggling. Now batting under 230. So the 2-1 pitch is fired in. A 2-hopper to short. Gloving it is Martinez. He'll whip it across first base in time for out number 1.
Yeah, and it's going to be important for Cockrell to get off to a better start because he's one of those X factors for the Oaks. When he gets going, that normally elevates the level of play around the other Oaks batters. They see him playing well. That normally just instills more confidence in the rest of that Oaks dugout.
Confidence is what the Oaks are looking for, dropping 2 games to the Academy Barons in the last 2 days in the middle of an 8 games and 8 days stretch as Brandon Lewis takes the first pitch he sees in the left field. But Marco Maria will take a couple of strides, stay is right and catch it for out number 2.
And that's one of the issues that we talked about. It's not that it's a bad swing from Lewis, but he saw the first pitch he liked and he swung on it. And yes, we talked to Max Weinstein yesterday in the bus. He said it's going to be important for the batters, for themselves to swing on pitches they like, but at the same time, you got to stay patient in the batter's box and test the pitcher a little bit.
McFarland steps in as Lardner deals a fastball on the outside corner, taken for strike 1. Jordan McFarland joined the team late from the University of Arkansas as Lardner quickly deals, though, 1 pitch. At the knees, called strike 2. And he's 1 for 13 on the season with the Oaks, with 3 walks. He's really been struggling as the 0-2 pitch is taken on the outside corner. 4 strike 3 called. The second strikeout on the day for Lardner. And just like that, we're out of the top of the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. The Oaks have retired 6 straight to start off the first 2 innings. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. Blues lead at 1-0. We'll be right back. Don't listen to what Keith said because I'm just going to do what the scores here do because it's based on the home scoring. So, like, it could be, but I'm not going to call it. Miles Emerson in the number 6 spot will lead things off here for the San Luis Obispo Blues. They're up 1-0 over the Oaks here. Welcome back, Jonah Malkin. Jonathan Rifkin, happy to be with you. In a close one early as DeCigli is back on the mound. The Blues taking their second hats of the game as the first pitch to the slow Mustang is on the outside corner for strike 1. Emerson plays his college ball out here in San Luis Obispo for Cal Polytechnic Institute. San Luis Obispo is the 0-1 pitches up high for ball 1. And SLO actually had a pretty good year this year in baseball. They are Division 1. Had a couple of players drafted as well. The Mustangs faithful out here as well. The 1-1 pitch is ripped fair down the third base line. Rounding to first and going to second is Emerson. That ball is in the corner, bobbled by McFarland, and he is going to stand up as the throw comes in on second base with a lead-off double. The motif here for the Blues has been lead-off doubles. Ricky Martinez led things off in the first inning with one, and now Emerson emulates that here with one of his own.
Yeah, and one of the things that the Oaks have to be cognizant of is, look, with this hostile environment, it's not just on the pitcher. It's important that the Oaks batters get off to a good start too, because that way you don't put as much pressure on DeCiglio on the mound to have to perform when he's only played in 3 other games.
Tate Samuelson steps in now, or excuse me, Marco Murillo actually steps in. The Lewis and Clark product out in Oregon takes the curveball, a ball above the knees, or above the belt, I should say, for a ball. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors here for the Blues. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Oaks. They were retired 6 straight to start off their offensive stint here at Sinsheimer. Stigley toes the rubber, comes set, digs in, checks the runner at second, kicks and fires the 1-0 pitch up high for ball 1. Crowd continues to trickle in. It's unbelievable. It doesn't seem like there's any more space, but somehow they're finding it. What a sight to behold here at Sinsheimer. 2-0 count as DeCiglio checks the runner and will step off, wanting to try it again here.
Yeah, and I think Mayu's just trying to instill some confidence in this infield and in DeCiglio, just trying to enable him to reboot and recalibrate.
The 2-0 pitch in is swung and missed for strike 1. 1 on, nobody away, 2-1 the count. 1-0, the Blues up here on the bottom of the second inning. One of 3 times the Oaks will be in San Luis Obispo in a stint that they have been itching to play. Oaks trying to bounce back after 2 consecutive losses as the 2-1 pitch is up and away. 3-1 now. The Oaks will be back up here at San Luis Obispo towards the end of July, on Thursday, July 20th, and then again on Wednesday, July 26th to end the season. So the Oaks have a month off against the Blues before they head back up here. The Blues do not have any more games at Cal Lutheran. Rio digs in, the 3-1 pitch from DeCiglio. Popped foul back towards us in the press box as a slew of kids chase after it.
Yeah, that could be a nice souvenir for one of these kids. But at the same time, you got to be careful. Perhaps yell 4 or something, because a lot of small kids around here don't want any of them getting hit in the head.
Joni, you can yell 4 next time. How about that? Full count now to Murillo. DeCiglio checks the runner at second, kicks and fires the 3-2 pitch inside for ball 4. You went with the curveball there, a questionable decision. With a full count, the second walk on the day, Murillo takes his place at first base. Emerson still at second, and Tate Samuelson from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo steps in. For Samuelson on the season in 3 games played, he's batting .400 with no RBIs. But we'll look to change that here. Finished school last week, and that's why he joined the team late. Sigley shakes off the first pitch he sees from Gonzalez. Checks the runner, infield in now as he shows bunt, pulls it back. The pitch is high for ball 1. Santana was way in on the line towards first base, guarding it to make sure that if a bunt went down, he would be there right in time.
Yeah, and that's why you saw Weinstein trying to cover him over at first in case that ball was hit and or pulls it to the right.
Santana still playing in on the infield grass over at first. He's running in, showing bunt once again is Samuelson. The 1-0 pitch as he pulls back is up high again. 2-0 now, and now Coach Solis, who's the head coach but also is the acting pitching coach for this team, will walk up to the mound and have a conversation with his pitcher, his first baseman Santana, and his catcher Juan Gonzalez.
Yeah, and I actually think in the previous batter, despite that inside pitch being called the ball, I actually thought that was a nice pitch from DeCiglio. That was one of the first times he ever attempted throwing an inside pitch, but none, because what happens is when you keep throwing it outside, you give the batters the same looks and they feel more confident because you're not changing it up. But if you try changing things up and throwing him inside, you might actually force a couple ground outs and just overall generate less hits for yourself.
2 balls, no strikes as the meeting breaks on the mound. An important one with 2 on, nobody away. Blues lead 1-0 here. As the Sigley comes set, showing bunt once again is Samuelson. In on the line is Santana. The 2-0 pitch is pulled back and ripped foul up above the screen behind home plate. 2-1 the count, and that was an interesting decision by Samuelson. He was way late on that fastball. DeSigley pitched that one for a strike, allowing Samuelson to get the bunt down if he wanted, and Samuelson decided that he wanted to swing away, but didn't pan out as he faces a 2-1 count now. Santana still on the lines. The 2-1 pitch is popped high over to shallow center. That's going to be, or excuse me, shallow second. That's going to be an infield fly rule, so runners can't go. And that'll be caught by Weinstein for out number 1. So best case scenario for the Oaks there, besides a double play ball, runners stay put at first and second with 1 away, and Robbie Silva in the bottom of the lineup steps in. From San Francisco State on the season for Silva in 10 games, he's padding .080. He has 4 RBIs. He only has 2 total bases. It's been a rough one as the Cuesta College product headed to San Francisco State in the fall. We'll look to change around his misfortunes here. 1 away, 2 on. Blues up 1-0 here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. As DeSigley checks the runner and offers the first pitch to Silva. And he rips it foul towards the Blues bullpen, or excuse me, the Blues dugout. 0-1 the count.
Yeah, now if you're DeSigley, you're just looking for a ground out that could lead to a potential double play. Try and get yourself out of this inning.
DeSigley now toes the rubber, takes the sign from Gonzalez. Gloves that ball, checks the runner second, kicks and fires the 0-1 pitch. Swung and missed the high fastball for strike 2. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Oaks. 1-3-0 in the same categories for the Blues. Oaks want to thank their sponsors, Roadrunner Shuttle, for taking the Oaks safely to and from their away games, and Joseph Sweet, orthopedic surgeon in Oxnard, California, as well as Cronies Bar and Grill and Jimmy John Sandwich. DeSigley comes set, digs in and fires the 0-2 pitch just outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Silva going to be a senior at San Francisco State in the fall, as he slaps the 1-2 pitch foul towards the Oaks dugout this time, and we'll do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, and Silva's struggled so far, at least with his batting average, a little below 100 on the season, but an optimal time to change that right here.
Oaks will be in Santa Barbara tomorrow to face the Foresters, 5 o'clock start time. 4:50 will be on the air for that one. As DeSigley comes set, Pearson fires the 1-2 pitch, and it's popped over to the right side. Under it is Santana, who'll make the catch in foul territory for out number 2. So after getting 2 on with nobody away here in the second, DeSigley has been able to retire the next 2 without much issue, and the runners are still at first and second now with 2 away, but Ricky Martinez in the top of the order stepping in.
Yeah, and all that was predicated on the inside pitch from DeSigley. He's had 2 flyouts or pop-ups. One, he's gone towards that inside pitch because it jams the opposing batter. So nice job from DeSigley keeping it inside.
Martinez on the day 1 for 1 with a double, and he ended up scoring after advancing to third on a wild pitch. DeSigley deals the first one, a curveball at the knees for a strike. No balls and 1 strike for the lefty from CSUN. Runner on first base is Mark Murillo, and second is Miles Emerson. 1-0 the score, 0-1 the count. 2 away is DeSigley. Checks Emerson at second base and fires the 0-1 pitch, and it's slapped foul off the fence behind home plate. 0-2 the count now for DeSigley. Settling in now after having a rough first inning, as well as a rough beginning of the second inning, but He looks a lot more comfortable on the mound. He's going right at batters as opposed to pitching around them, which is seemingly what he was doing in the first inning. He toes the rubber. Sets and fires the 0-2 pitch. It's a curveball, fouled once again out of play. And the count will be held at 0-2 once again.
Yeah, another nice souvenir for one of these Blues fans.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2-way. Digging back in is Ricky Martinez, trying to score that run at second, but with an 0-2 count looming, it's going to be tough as DeCeglie checks that runner, kicks and fires the 0-2 pitch. Just outside for ball 1. Juan Gonzalez held it, but nonetheless, it was called a ball by the home plate umpire. Calling him tight here at Sinsheimer. Couple practice swings. Martinez shoulders that bat, swinging a counterclockwise circle over his right shoulder. Sigley comes set and fires the 1-2 pitch, and that one is ripped foul once again. An array of kids running over to it, and we'll do it again at 1-2 with the 8th pitch of that bat pending.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's a good pitch from DeCeglie. You throw 2 on the inside, 1 on the outside. Now you keep Martinez off balance as to where you're going to go. He decides to go with the fastball upstairs, but Martinez able to foul it off. But a nice change of pitches from DeCeglie.
Martinez comes set now in the batter's box. So does DeCeglie on the mound. He peers and fires the 1-2 pitch. Popped foul once again towards the right field line. 8 pitches in, and we're only at a 1-2 count. DeCeglie, I would assume, is going to go with that curveball at least low, maybe inside, because he's been pitching fastballs upstairs, and that's what Martinez has been fouling off, and he's trying to go opposite field to try to get at least that runner from second in. And if it drops far enough, he can get the runner at first as well, but he is still swinging a little bit too late to keep those balls fair. As DeCeglie gloves the ball, comes set and deals the 1-2 pitch, and that one is ripped into right field. It drops. Emerson rounds third, coming in. The throw from Lewis over to right field is not in time. And Ricky Martinez plates another run on the RBI single. The Blues take a 2-0 lead.
Great job by Martinez, staying patient, fighting off a number of these pitches to stay alive, and it pays off as he hits a little blooper into shallow right for an RBI.
Advancing from first to third was Marco Murillo, so just as I alluded to, he's trying to go opposite field to at least get 1 run in, and eventually it paid off. DeCeglie went right at him on a 1-2 count, 9 pitches in, and the battle was won by the offense as Drew Judson steps in with an RBI sack under his belt as he pops out the first pitch he sees on the infield. Running over to it is Santana, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. But the damage is done. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base, actually. We're through 2 full here from Sinsheimer Stadium. Blues lead at 2-0. As we hit the break, you're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back. Santana, the first base. The Hawaii Pacific star Cody Santana steps in and takes the first pitch he sees into right field, and Adam Fogel out in right field makes a diving attempt at it and will glove it. You have to tip your hat off to the right fielder from Hawaii. What an incredible catch, and just like that, one pitch, one away here to lead us off in the third inning. By the way, the Blues are up 2-0, and now there's one away.
Yeah, just when you thought Santana was going to register another hit for himself after a nice line drive in the center right, Vogel able to get a nice jump on it.
As Juan Gonzalez fouls off the first pitch he sees into the hill here, caught by a nice young fan. He's down on the count 0-1. By the way, Cody Santana is now 1 for his last 15. As the 0-1 pitch to the Oklahoma Baptist product is fouled off the plate. He's down on the count 0-2. A lot of excitement here from Sinsheimer. The Blues lead 2-0. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for them. The visiting Oaks, no runs, no hits, no errors is the 0-2 pitch from Mac Ladner. Is chopped over to third base side, but foul. Backhanded by Samuelson, but nonetheless, we'll do it again at 0-2. Lauer toes the rubber, deals the 0-2 pitch just under the strike zone. And that'll bring the count to 1-2 now. Temperature drops now to 75 degrees. Wind blowing out to left center field. Beautiful day for baseball from San Luis Obispos. The 1-2 pitch is a changeup. Swung and a miss for strike 3. Down goes Gonzalez. Lardner now with 3 strikeouts under his belt, and there are 2 quickly away here. Lardner has retired the first 8 Oak batters, and Zane Willems in the number 9 spot is looking to change that. The Texas Tech commit headed there in the fall in yesterday's game out of the number 7 spot, had a productive day, went 1 for 3 with a couple of walks and a single and a run score as he swings and misses at the first pitch for a strike. 0-1 the count. Lardner looking very good on the mound from Gonzaga. He deals the 0-1 pitch. Slider that's chopped foul. 0-2 now the count. Willems from Alvin Community College, originally from Fort Worth, Texas. Batted .346 there. Headed to Texas Tech to be a Red Raider in the fall. As the 0-2 pitch comes in from Lardner, and it's a curveball outside for ball 1.
Yeah, and part of the issues with the Oaks have stemmed from their yearning to swing on the first pitch as they see stay patient in the batter's box.
The 1-2 fired in now is popped high but foul into the stands as a slew of younglings run in on it again. Get those kids on the field and give them an opportunity to play. They are fielding these balls very nicely. 2-0 the count, 1-2, or 2-0 the score. I should say the Blues up over the Oaks. 1-2 the count as Louder deals a fastball just outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 away here. And Zane Willems, as his teammates call him, Billy Bob, trying to keep this Oaks inning alive here and not be the 9th consecutive out. The 2-2 pitch is ripped foul off the screen. And we'll do it again at 2-2.
Yeah, and I think it's important for Willems to get at least some base hit because the Oaks 0 for 8 in their first 8 batters, so at least something to generate moving forward in this game.
2-2 pitch, swung and missed. A pitch in the dirt for strike 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Mr. Willems. The 4th punch out on the day for Lardner. And the Oaks have been retired 9 straight through the first 3 innings. And the Blues are still up 2-0. We're through 2.5 here from Sinsheimer Stadium. We'll be back with the bottom of the 3rd after this. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back. card, Jim? I was making a joke. No, I do not have a grayish black. It is a Honda, but it's not grayish black. It's Copa Coffee or Copa Copper, bro. Welcome back to Sinsheimer Stadium. Oaks down 2-0 to the Blues. He's Jonah Malkin. I'm Jonathan Rifkin. Back on the mound is Joey DeSigley trying to keep this lead at bay. As we hit the bottom of the third inning. 3, 4, 5 hitters due up for the Blues. Bryce Vizentainer, Nikos Jehulimis, and Adam Fogel are due up in this inning. But if the last 2 innings have been any indication, we could see more Blues batters. They have been giving DeSigley fits on the mound as he deals the first pitch to Vizentainer, up and away for ball 1. For the UAB product, 0-for-0 on the day with a walk. He did steal first, but was retired, or he stole second after reaching first, but was left on base after then the first inning as the 1-0 pitch is popped high and foul. Straight behind home plate, and that one is going to just fall short of the fence, and Gonzalez could not make the catch as it did bounce just at the bottom of the fence. That'll even the count of 1-1.
Yeah, perhaps they have to add a couple more feet to that fence. It seems like the parameters are pretty high up for this fence, but nonetheless, perhaps throughout the entire stadium, they need to put up some higher fences.
1-1 into DeSigley, or from DeSigley is a curveball. Outside corner for a strike. 1 balls and 2 strikes. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Blues. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Oaks here. As the 1-2 pitch is dealt from DeSigley, fouled back off the right foot of Vizentainer. And we'll do it again at 1-2. The Oaks will be back home on Sunday to take on the Long Beach Legends at 12 o'clock. You're going to want to be there for that one. That'll be a fun one. The Legends currently top in the CCL standing as the 1-2 pitch is ripped foul again. And that'll hold the count at 1-2. Oaks will be at home again on Monday to take on the Orange County Riptide for 5 o'clock start for that one. And then they finish off their 8 games in 8 days on Tuesday in Ventura at 4:30 to take on the Ventura Halos. The 1-2 in from DeSigley is popped to short right field. Running in on it is Lewis. And back on it is Santana as it drops fair past the outstretched glove of Santana. And that is going to be a bloop single for Vizentainer. The Blues are now 3 for 3 in leading off base hits in this game. Through the first 3 innings, they have 2 doubles and a single. And they are really giving the Oaks fits now. Nobody away, 1 on here for the cleanup hitter, Nikos Jehudimis.
Yeah, and there's only so much you can do if you're Santana. That ball's flying over your head. It's not super deep in the outfield, but the combination of the glare from the sun and you trying to look up, it's kind of tough to make that grab.
The Oakland, California native steps in with a strikeout under his belt so far in today's game as DeSigley will check Vizentainer over at first. Vizentainer on the season is 4 for 4 in stolen bases. It's actually 4 for 5, my mistake. As he will take a generous lead over at first. The first pitch in Jehudimis is just outside for ball 1. DeSigley so far in the game for the Oaks is a little bit over 2 innings pitches, giving up 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. As he deals the 1-0 pitch, just slow for ball 2. Dimensions here at Sinsheimer, 335 in left, 380 in left center, 395 in center field, 365 in right center, 320 in right field. A very generous ballpark if you're a lefty. The 2-0 pitch runs outside for ball 3.
Yeah, and Gonzalez tried to place that catch to catch the outside corner, but the umpire had none of that, saw it drift a little too far on the outside.
3-0 now. As the Jehudimis swings and misses at a 3-0 pitch, a fastball that probably would have been a ball. And DeSigley can take a sigh of relief there now as There's a strike up on the board. 3 balls and a strike. 1 runner on, 2-0 our score with nobody away here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. As Jehudimus takes a couple of practice swings, shoulders the bat, twirls it in a clockwise circle to Sigley, gloves the ball. Pearson fires the 3-1 runner, goes to swing and miss. The throw is in time from Juan Gonzalez to Max Weinstein. They gun out Price Visentainer. Only the 2nd time he's been caught stealing all season, and that's a good way to put an out on the board. And DeSigley now with a full count as well, trying to get Jehudimus for the 2nd out of the inning.
Yeah, and that's Gonzalez's 4th batter that he's caught stealing from that throw over behind the dish to 2nd. So just a great awareness and anticipation from Gonzalez.
Payoff pitch is laid off in the dirt for ball 4. So a walk here for Jehudimus. Puts a base runner on the 3rd base on balls for DeSigley. All the Oaks pitchers in the bullpen are just tossing around a ball, but nobody really warming up yet. By the way, on the season, only 1 runner has successfully stolen second base against Juan Gonzalez, who was drafted out of high school in 2013 by the Cleveland Indians. So only 1 for 5 are opposing runners as Adam Fogel steps in. 0 for 1 with a strikeout as he swings and misses at the first pitch for strike 1. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Blues. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Oaks. As Fogel made an incredible diving catch to get Cody Santana out for the first out in the 3rd inning when the Oaks were up, as the 0-1 pitch is chopped foul back against the screen. And now ahead in the count is DeSigley, 0-2.
Yeah, and that's actually been one of the first times that DeSigley has been up in the count. So looking to capitalize in a positive situation for him here.
Jehudimus at first doesn't possess threatening speed, so the Oaks are looking for that double play as the 0-2 pitch from DeSigley is fired in. And it's outside. That was a waste pitch. Gonzalez placed that glove way outside. They wanted to see if they could get Fogel cutting on a bad pitch, but he lays off wisely. And they'll do it again, though, with a 1-2 count. Weinstein playing close to that second base bag as the 1-2 pitch is a curveball that doesn't break and will even the count at 2-2. Folks want to give a couple of shout-outs. First to Doc Stephen Ames, an avid Oaks fan and someone who helps both Jonah and myself out a lot. As the 2-2 pitch from DeSigley is popped high and foul into the stands here and drops just into the Blues dugout. Tyson Qualls, former Oak, gets a hand on it. 2-2 is the count remains. Finishing off my shout-out, Doc Ames has been an avid Oaks fan and helped out the team since 2006 when the Oaks were incepted, so we want to give a big shout-out to him. Thank all of his guidance. And we give a shout-out to the Santana family as well. They are here in San Luis Obispo, but always upbeat, per se, as the 2-2 pitch from DeSigley is fired in. It's a hopper over to short. Mayu gets it, underhanded to Weinstein at second. It's off the bag, but Weinstein is able to make the catch and tow the second base bag to at least get the force out. So fielder's choice 6-4 sends Jehudimus back to the bench, and Fogel will reach first base on that fielder's choice. That'll bring 2 outs now to the board. And Miles Emerson stepping in, 1 for 1 on the day with a double and a run scored to lead off the 2nd inning. 2-0 to score. The Blues lead against the Oaks. The Oaks have really struggled in the first 3 innings. They were retired 9 straight in their 3 offensive outings. The first pitch in is way outside for ball 1 from the Cal Poly San Luis Obispo Mustang. Also joined the team late due to the fact that Cal Poly is on the quarter system, which means that they didn't end until last week. The 1-0 in from DeSigley is a curveball at the knees for a strike. 1-1 the count.
Yeah, that was just a beautiful curveball from DeSigley, dropped from just below the shoulder, right by the belt, for a nice strike inside.
DeSigley steps off the mound, wants to have a re-roll, and now steps back on. And now steps off again. A little back and forth between Fogel at first and Bisigley on the mound, but Bisigley does come set, and he'll fire it over to first, checking Fogel, but he runs back safely. Fogel on the season for the Blues is 0 for 1 in stolen bases, so he has attempted one. We'll see here with two-way. If they send him as the 1-1 pitch runs up high, 2-1 in the count now.
Yeah, the only thing you don't want to do if you're DeCigley is have a balk. We've seen in favor of the Oaks one time, they brought in a run because of a balk. So you don't want to give the Blues any more momentum or runners advancing on base because of a silly mistake.
Mistakes of what has been costing the Oaks the last couple games is the 2-1 pitch is smoked in the left center field. Running around second and stopping at third is Fogel. And Emerson is now 2 for 2 as they throw into Mayu is mishandled. Coming in and scoring is Fogel on the error. And the Blues take a 3-0 lead on an incredibly lackluster defensive play. That, as Jonah, you just said, a mistake loses games. And just like that, a mistake that did not need to happen in the field plates another run. Runner on first now with one around in the inning, and the Blues leading 3-0.
Yeah, just you don't have to make those types of throws. Mayu is an experienced veteran at shortstop. He just kind of bobbled the ball and wasn't focusing so much. And meanwhile, Fogel, seeing that perfectly, able to run over from third and score.
That is an unearned run. 3-0 to score as Marco Murillo takes the first pitch high and outside for ball one. On the day for Marco Murillo, 0 for 0 with a walk. He was stranded at third back in the second inning. It has been a tough last couple of days for the Oaks. As the Sigley deals the 1-0 pitch, a curveball popped over into foul territory. Running in on it is Santana, and he makes the catch in the Blues dugout. They're going to say that he made it in fair territory, or in the field, which counts as fair territory. And finally, the Blues are out of the inning, but they played a run on an error, 1 hit and 1 left on base. We're through 3 full here from Sinsheimer Stadium. 3-0, the Blues lead the Oaks. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back. Top of the fourth we go. Slow Blues up over the Conejo Oaks 3-0 as DJ Miller steps in. And for play-by-play of the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings, my broadcasting partner, Jonah Malkin.
Thank you, Jonathan, and welcome everybody if you're just tuning in now. The Oaks quickly down 3-0 against the San Luis Obispo Blues here in Sinsheimer Stadium, San Luis Obispo. A beautiful afternoon. DJ Miller stepping up to the plate for the Oaks. He's 0 for 1 with a fly out to center, but an impressive 4 for 6 yesterday, looking to carry that over as he takes that pitch outside for strike 1. Strike 2. Mac Lardner still on the mound for the Blues, a little over 3 innings pitched. That pitch is outside for ball 1. 1 for 2. And he's been ahead in the count in practically every single Oaks batter. He's retired the first 9, complete order. As the 1-2 pitch, fouled back, and we'll do it again at 1 and 2.
Yeah, this is the first time in the last 2 years that the Oaks have been retired 9 straight to start off a game. It has not happened this season. It did not happen last season. So the Blues really throwing well against this Conejo team.
1-2 pitch, dealed outside for ball 2. Miller had an impressive day yesterday, nearly had a batting cycle as he hit a single, a double, a triple, just 1 homer shy. The 2-2 pitch curves outside for ball 3. And that's something that we haven't seen yet from these Oaks batters, is staying patient. That's the first full count for the Oaks. As the 3-2 pitch, and that's popped up into the stands for the kids and nearly hit one of them, and they're diving on it. So we'll do it again at 3 and 2. Lardner, an impressive 4 strikeouts on the day, looking to make it 5 and not surrender his first hit potentially. So he sets and fires a 3-2 pitch, hit up the shallow right field. Fogel's gonna get underneath it to make the grab. So quickly once again, 3-2 pitch, ripped into right, and Fogel underneath there for the 10th straight retired batter for the Oaks. So they have struggled out of the gates in this one. And Max Weinstein, someone who's been struggling mightily, 0 for 6 if you count yesterday's contest. And he struck out back in the first. He swings on the first pitch he sees and fouls it back for strike 1.
I wouldn't say he's struggling mightily because he's still patting well over 400. He had a bad game yesterday, and it's hard to go 14 consecutive games with a hit. He just needs to get back in his groove, much does the rest of this offense.
That's definitely a good point as Lardner fires the 0-1 pitch outside for ball 1. Yeah, Weinstein, one of the leading hitters, not just for the Oaks, but in the CCL at around 420 on the season as he swings and misses on the 1-2 pitch and quickly down 1-2. Lardner just impressive on the mound, hasn't given up a hit all day. Takes the sign from Emerson and fires the 1-2 pitch, low and outside for ball 2. Weinstein has occupied the second spot for the Oaks in nearly every single game played. Swung on and missed for strike 3. So down goes Weinstein for a second consecutive strikeout, and that's going to be Lardner's 5th strikeout on the day.
This has been a rough one for the Oaks. Lardner looking like the ace on the mound. He came into today's game with a 1.74 ERA, and you see why. His unbelievable talent.
As Grant Mayu is going to step in and watch that slider drop in for strike 1. And not to mention, coming into this game, he had 12 strikeouts, but already within 3 innings, he's got jumped up to 17. The 0-1 pitch runs low and outside for ball 1. So 1-1 the count. Oaks down 3-0 here in the top of the 4th on no hits and no runs. As the 1-1 pitch is chopped, fouled back for strike 2. Mayu's been asked to do a lot more since the absence of Frankie Tostado. And for the most part he has, but he has been struggling. 0 for 3 yesterday, 0 for 1 so far today as he takes that pitch upstairs and outside for ball 2.
Yeah, Mayu has been trying to take that offensive load that Tostado left the Oaks with, but he's been struggling as of late.
2-2 pitch, popped in the infield. Running underneath it is Silva, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. So once again, the Oaks go down in short order on no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. They're down 3-0 here at Sinsheimer Stadium. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV on the road. We'll be right back. to Sinsheimer Stadium. I'm Jonah Malkin. Alongside me is Jonathan Rifkin as the Oaks find themselves down 3-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. And taking the mound for the first time for the Oaks is Jacob Sylvester. He's played in 3 previous games. The last time he played, he just played 1 inning, gave up a run and 1 hit, but looking to change the tide and the fortunes for the Oaks as Tate Samuelson's going to step in for the Blues. Sylvester fires the 0-0 pitch, chopped, hit into center, and Brandon Lewis is going to make the grab for out number 1. So quickly, Sylvester trying to assert his dominance on the mound. Stepping up to the plate is going to be Robbie Silva, the first baseman from San Francisco State. And the last time he came up to bat, flew one out to Santana over at first. Sylvester sets and fires the 0-0 pitch, runs outside for ball 1. Not to mention the last time, at least the last time these two teams played, Jonathan had that trivia question about San Francisco State with the basketball players that I got wrong. The 1-0 pitch runs low again for ball 2.
Always fun. We haven't had a trivia question in, 3 games now, Jonah? I have one for you. Come the 7th inning. It's going to be a good one.
Robbie Silva looking to improve his batting average in this game as he a little shy of 100 on the season. 2-0 pitch. Fastball upstairs for ball 3.
Yeah, Sylvester, the biggest thing he's working on this summer is his control at Iowa Western Community College, where he won those 2 championships. He was the ace. Then transferred to CSUN, where analytically he didn't feel great, and that's why he's transferring out.
3-0 pitch. Catches the outside corner for strike 1. Now going back, Joey DeSigli's day was done on the mound. He pitched 3 innings, gave up 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 of which were earned, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts in limited time on the mound. But Sylvester quickly down the count 3-1. That pitch swung on and missed for strike 2.
And that's an important pitch for Sylvester to get batters swinging on the high heater, because when you're down on a count and you assert yourself with a strike, now batters are saying, well, he's going to start throwing strikes again, and if you can elude that high fastball, it bodes well for you.
Here comes the full count pitch, swung on and missed for strike 3. So Sylvester retires the first 2 Blues batters to get things started here in the bottom of the 4th.
And that is a good sign from Sylvester, from down 3-0 to striking out the batter. He was composed, he placed his pitches well, and at the end of the day, when you can get a strikeout after being down in the count 3-0, it bodes well for you. And with Sylvester now facing the top of the order, he has a little bit of confidence on the mound.
Back to the leadoff hitter, Ricky Martinez. 2 for 2 on the day with a double as well as an RBI single as he takes that pitch inside for ball 1. Martinez, another one of these Blues batters, batting an impressive around .310 on the season. Sylvester looking to change those odds as he delivers the pitch just inside for ball 2.
By the way, Jacob Flores warming up in the Oaks pen from USC.
We got a chance to talk with him. He was a funny guy on the bus ride. Talked about eating a lot of pizza. Potentially, we had about 10 different Little Caesars pizza boxes to split amongst the team as the 2-0 pitch just drops outside or above the strike zone for ball 3. So the second consecutive time, Sylvester down in the count 3-0. The North Cal State Northridge product as he sets and fires the 3-0 pitch, runs outside for ball 4. And make that Sylvester's first walk he's given up on the afternoon. Does have a strikeout on Silva as well as a flyout.
Yeah, he's looking to place those pitches a little bit better. He overextended on that 3-0 fastball, and that's why it ran outside. But with 2 away and that runner on first base, he's not going to worry too much now facing Drew Judson, who's 0 for 1 on the day. An opportunity here for him to get out of this inning.
0-0 pitch taken low and outside for strike 1. Judson, as you mentioned, Johnny, 0 for 1 on the day with a sacrifice fly. And that brought in Ricky Martinez home in the first. Austin, Texas, as Sylvester checks off the runner at first. And Judson actually played fairly well against the Oaks the last 3 times these teams met. That pitch drops outside for strike 2.
That one was close, Jonah. Right at the knees, just a little bit outside, but the umpire giving some leeway here to Sylvester. And now after that walk, he's up in the count 0-2. I would look for that high fastball again because that's what's been effective throughout this inning.
Martinez takes a small lead off from first. And Sylvester's going to check him off once again. And Sylvester's shied away from throwing the inside pitch, has mostly utilized the fastballs outside. 0-2 pitch, chopped over to third. Gloved by Cockrell, throwing it over to Santana, and that's going to do it for the inning. So despite the 1 walk given up by Sylvester, the Blues still lead 3-0 here in Sinsheimer Stadium. You're watching Oaks baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back. Oaks looking to change their fortunes here in this one.
Perfect on that. Oh, a home run by Chase Cockrell. We had a softball game I was calling when I was in Missouri calling Oregon softball. Our pitcher was throwing a perfect game, and we were in the 6th, and I talked about and she gave us a home run the next at bat. Yeah. And then I talked to Kleist after, and I was like, she got the win. She's like, did you talk about my perfect game? I go, yep. And then you gave up the home run. She's like, fuck you. She was funny though. I love that team. Oh. At least it's quick. More time to see Eric.
Middle of the order for the Oaks, Chase Cockrell coming up to the plate. Brandon Lewis on deck and Jordan McFarland in the hole to get things started here in the top of the 5th. As Lardner's slider catches the outside corner for strike 1. Slider's been impressive. Lardner's been impressive today. Hasn't given up a hit or a run as that pitch runs outside for ball 1. He's retired 12 consecutive Oaks batters on an impressive day on the mound as that pitch chopped into shallow left for a leadoff base hit for Cockrell, and the first optimistic sign for the Oaks to get things started here in the top of the 5th.
Jonah, it was so hard for me to hold my tongue and not talk about Lardner's perfect game up to this at-bat, but I'm glad I did so I didn't have to be the one to jinx it. Chase Cockrell, though, able to come in here and finally rope one in the shallow left center and get on base.
Apologies to any Blues fans listening, but it was an impressive stat from Lardner, but nonetheless, nice job from Cockrell as Lewis steps in and swings on the cutter for strike 1. Lardner, up until that point, has retired 12 of the first 13 batters for the Oaks after that hit, but does have 5 strikeouts. So he checks the runner at first. Lewis pops that one into first, into foul territory, and Silva's going to get underneath it and make the catch for out number 1. So despite giving up the hit, he is able to force the fly out from Lewis. With Jordan McFarland coming up to the plate, who has struggled mightily, 1 for 13 on the season with the Oaks for the Arkansas Razorback.
Yeah, that one hit was a good one, too. Just that slump to kick things off here for his Oaks tenure.
Lardner's pitch runs outside for ball 1. Currently, the way the standings are set, the Foresters in first place with 8-3. Behind them's the Oaks 7-5, Ventura Halo 7-7, and the Blues at 3-5, but playing much better. And that one's hit into center. Running underneath it is going to be Fogle to make the catch and the second out of the inning. So after Cockrell hit a leadoff base hit, Lardner's forced 2 flyouts.
Yeah, that's rough for this Oaks team to strand that runner. Remember, they had 13 runners left on base yesterday against the Barons, and even though they haven't had much offense, every run matters, and now every base runner matters. Down 3-0 here as we enter the, that middle part of the game where it can make or break your day.
As Cody Santana steps in and watches that pitch drop in outside for strike one. Southpaw Lardner taking on the left-handed batter Santana, which usually hasn't played out in the batters' favor, but Santana looking to change that here with Cockrell over at first. As Lardner sets and fires the 0-1 pitch. Santana chops that one into shallow right, and that's going to be caught by Fogel for out number 3. So the Oaks, after a leadoff base hit, leave one on base on just one hit, no runs and no errors, and still down 3-0 as we head into the bottom of the 5th here in Sinsheimer Stadium. Jacob Flores is going to take the mound for the Oaks to get things started off here in the bottom of the 5th. Jake Sylvester's day is done in the 1-inning pitch. He had 1 strikeout and 1 walk, with Price Vizentainer stepping up for the Blues. He's 1-0 on the day, or 1 for 1, as he takes that pitch outside for ball 1.
And for Flores, in his last appearance against the Barons in that 4-2 loss 2 games ago, he pitched an inning and a third and gave up nothing.
1-0 pitch, fouled back right near our press box, but drifts just a little up. That would have been an interesting event if that would have fallen right into our laps. Could have been the second time while we've been on a call that's happened.
Yeah, but Jonah, you would have to fight for it with Davis, the Blues broadcaster.
I would.
Both of you in prime
I
position
would.
to make that catch.
I have had an error on the day as the 1-1 pitch beautifully cut and drops outside for strike 2. So 1-2 the count for Flores. The USC Trojan stepping to the mound. As the 1-2 pitch runs outside for ball 2. Vizentainer was walked back in the first as a stolen base. As well, he was caught stealing once as well. So one for 2 on those advancing to second. As the 2-2 pitch struck, swung and missed for strike 3. So quickly inserted into the lineup is Flores, and quickly dispatching Vizentainer for his first strikeout on the mound.
Yeah, that high fastball is what Flores likes to utilize when he's ahead in the count. It's really hard to get around on. Vizentainer just swung right under it for strike number 3.
Stepping into the batter's box, Nkosi Jehudimus, designated hitter, Texas A&M Corpus Christi College. He's 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout back in the first as he takes the curveball outside for ball 1. He's also walked in the third after fighting off and working his way back in a 3-2 count. The pitch runs outside for strike one.
Yeah, backdoor slider there on the outside corner. Beautiful placement. Flores, headed from Rio Mesa to USC, has a lot of potential and composes himself on the mound very well.
Yeah, Flores fires the 1-1 pitch, fouled back for strike two, so up ahead in the count 1-2. He played under Coach David Solis at Rio Mesa, had an impressive 1.49 ERA, 10-6 record. And here's something unbelievable. He threw in his career 111 strikeouts. So impressive stuff from him on the mound as he fires the 1-2 pitch, fastball, just low and outside for ball two. We want to take this time to thank all of our sponsors, Oaks Road Runner providing us transportation, as well as Stephen Joseph Sweet Orthopedic Surgery. And the curveball drops below the strike zone to bring the count full at 3-2. This is a must win for the Oaks. They've dropped their last two and looking to close the gap with the Foresters for sole possession of the Central, as that one's fouled back into the stands, and we'll do it again at 3-2.
Yeah, must win is probably the best way to look at it. I think every game from now on is a must win. The Oaks have to play the Foresters tomorrow in Santa Barbara, and if the Oaks drop this one, that game will be that much harder for them.
Judemus batting .300 for the Blues this season. Waits on the 3-2 pitch, drops inside for strike three. So down goes Vizentainer and down goes Jehudimus for back-to-back strikeouts for Flores to get things started here in the bottom of the fifth.
That was a gutsy pitch, a curveball on a 3-2 count. It looked like it would drop below the knees, but had Jehudimus frozen in his tracks and a great way to dispatch him back to the bench.
Beautiful curveball by Flores, delivered to perfection as Adam Fogel steps in and lays off that pitch for ball one. Fogel, the right fielder out of the University of Hawaii, looking to make an imprint on today as he's 0 for 2. Pitch swung on and missed, upstairs for strike one. Fogel got advanced over to first in the third because of a fielder's choice and was struck out back in the first as the 1-1 pitch hit deep into left. Running back on it is McFarland and making the leaping grab to end the inning. So a quick 2 strikeouts and a fly out to seventh enables Flores to get out of this inning and maintain the lead, or preserve just the Oaks being down 3-0. Here at Sinsheimer Stadium. You're watching Oaks baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back. Juan Gonzalez to lead things off for the Oaks here in the top of the sixth. Zane Willems on deck and DJ Miller in the hole as Gonzalez quickly shows bunt but lays it into foul territory to be down in the count 0-1. Lardner still on the mound for the Blues. He's just given up 1 hit in 13 batters faced with an impressive 5 strikeouts. As he sets and fires the 0-1 pitch, check swing upstairs for ball 1. Home umpire wanted to check that with the first baseman umpire. He said he held back his swing, so that'll bring the count even at 1-1. Lardner steps off and wants to talk it over. Juan Gonzalez on the day, 0 for 1, just struck out back in the 3rd. As he takes that pitch outside for strike 2. Quickly down in the count, 1-2. Oaks still down 3-0 on 1 hit and 1 error in this one. That pitch runs just below the strike zone for ball 2. Gonzalez was drafted in 2013 by the Cleveland Indians, but decided to decline as he waits on the slider that just misses the outside corner.
That was a close backdoor slider, and you know Gonzalez is taking a sigh of relief there, happy that he didn't have to deal the strikeout.
Pitch catches the outside for strike 3. So much to the dismay of Gonzalez. Make that Lardner's 6th strikeout on the day, and he's retired 15 of the first 16 Oaks batters here in this one.
Wow, Gonzalez was frustrated with that one. He already tossed his bat over to the side saying, thanks for the free base, but the home plate umpire said, nope, you're back to the bench. And after exchanging some words, Gonzalez conceded and is now taking a seat.
Zane Willems steps in and quickly watches that pitch drop low and inside for ball 1. Willems, the lone Texas Tech Red Raider in this game, swings on the fastball outside for strike 1. He was 2 for 4 yesterday with a walk and a run scored, but hasn't been able to get going here as he's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. 1-1 pitch, fouled back for strike 2. The way that the batting has gone for the Oaks, fly out, strikeout, fly out, ground out, fly out, strikeout, fly out, strikeout, strikeout, fly out, strikeout, fly out, single, fly out, fly out, fly out, and a strikeout as Willems pops that one into foul territory to keep the count alive at 1-2. So if you didn't follow that,
That was like a poet, Joe. It was like slam poetry right there.
basically what you're seeing is utter dominance on the mound from Lardner. Utilizing an array of pitches at his dismantle as the 1-2 slider catches the outside corner for strike 3. So once again, make that 16 of the first 17 batters Lardner has retired, and that's his 7th strikeout of the day.
You know, Jonah, when you're looking at, or when you're trying to do something, let's say you're building, I don't know, a cabinet, and you're trying to hit that nail in that right spot of the cabinet.
TJ Miller steps in and quickly swings and misses for strike 1.
And you keep missing the nail and you keep hitting the side of the cabinet. I know this is a very specific example, and you're frustrated because I know I can hit the nail, but for some reason I keep missing. That's how the Oaks feel right now.
0-1 pitch runs inside for strike 2. So quickly, DJ Miller 0 for 2 on the day and down 0-2 in the count. Oaks looking for just something to move forward as 0-2 pitch chopped in the infield, but it'll drop in foul territory, and we'll do it again.
Yeah, the Oaks are just very, very frustrated. You can see in the body language of these batters, they're not loose, they're tight. It's a 3-hour bus ride, so on top of it, you're down 3-0, and you only have a hit. You have an error in the field. It's hard to be into your game when all of this is transpiring.
0-2 pitch chopped over to short. Gloving it is going to be Samuelson and tossing it over to Silva, but he's going to be safe. So Miller, due to his speed, runs through the first base tag and gets a base hit for just the 2nd hit for the Oaks in this entire game. So DJ Miller 1 for 3 on the day with Max Weinstein stepping up to the plate. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. But the Oaks looking to generate some offense in a 2-out situation in which for the most part this season they've been pretty successful. as Lardner checks off the runner at first. Weinstein chops that one over to third. Tossed over to Silva for out number 3. So once again, no runs on 1 hit, no error, and 1 left on base as the Oaks down 3-0 to the Blues here in Sinsheimer Stadium in St. Louis Obispo. You're watching Oaks baseball on KDTV. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Six, 7, and 8 batters here for the Blues to get things started in the bottom of the 6th inning. Oaks still down 3-0 here in Sinsheimer Stadium with Miles Emerson coming up to the plate for the Blues, and Joe Torres, the new pitcher for the Oaks, making his first appearance of the night. As he sets and fires the slider, popped shallow into center, running underneath it is Max Weinstein, the second baseman, and catches it for out number 1. Jacob Flores' day was done in 1 innings pitched. He didn't give up any hits or runs, no walks, but 2 strikeouts for the USC Trojan. And Marco Murillo, the left fielder from Lewis and Clark, looking to get things started here for the Blues in the bottom of the 6th. Blues have 5 hits on no errors, and they lead 3-0. As that pitch chopped over to Santana at first, and he's going to run and tag the base for out number 2. So quickly Torres forces a fly out and a ground out over to Santana at first for the first 2 outs in this one.
And Torres, a very methodical pitcher on the mound, thinks things through. He's very good at placement. Great at making sure that when hitters who are very good at making contact with the ball, he makes sure that the ball is placed in a way where his fielders are there if it's hit, and he trusts his fielders, and it bodes well for him. Looking to transfer from Glendale Community College in the fall, and I think that it'll fare well for him. He has a great attitude, a great outlook on the game, and puts in a lot of work.
There's no question he puts a lot of work as he throws the slider that just misses the outside corner for ball 1. And the slider is one of his most utilized pitches. He loves to incorporate the slider as well as the fastball in his game. As Tate Samuelson's going to step up and watch that pitch drift outside for ball 2. So quickly ahead in the count, 2-0 with Samuelson. 0 for 2 on the day with 2 flyouts. Flew out in the second, as well as a flyout to right. For the third baseman at Cal Poly, Torres delivers the 2-0 pitch and watches that go right over the heart of the plate for strike one. Torres typically inserted into the game around this time, the 6th, 7th inning. So no surprise here as the 2-1 pitch is fouled into territory for strike two. Once again, if you'd like to follow us, you can watch the games on oaksbaseball.org or simulcast on YouTube. Feel free to interact with us on YouTube or Twitter. I'm at Jonah_Malkin, and my broadcasting partner, Jonathan Rifkind, is at Johnny Riff with 1F. As Torres delivers the 2-2 pitch, slides, and just misses the plate for ball 3 to bring the count full.
It's interesting here, Jonah, as we are about 3 hours north of Cal Lutheran, how the sun sets 30 minutes later. So there's a little bit more daylight here at Sinsheimer this part of the game.
3-2 pitch, slides outside and just misses the strike zone for ball 4. So Samuelson's going to be walked over to first, with Robbie Silva coming up to the plate for the Blues. He's 0 for 2 on the day, with a pop-up to first and a strikeout back in the 4th. Torres from La Crescenta, California. He got the save in Game 2 against the Blues when they played a few weeks ago at Sparky Anderson Field. Looking to contribute in a big way here as his slider catches the outside corner for strike one. Silva from Arroyo Grande, California. Looking for his first hit of the day as he fouls that one right near his dugout for strike two. And Ricky Martinez, who's on deck for the Blues if it gets that far, kind of had to adjust himself as that one seemed to surprise him a little bit. But quickly down the count, 0-2. Torres trying to get out of this inning, just down 3-0 as he goes for the late check to first. The pickoff attempt comes late. So Samuelson over at first with Robbie Silva coming up to the plate. Down in the count, 0-2. So 1 on and 2 away here in the bottom of the 6th. Torres sets and fires the 0-2, chopped, gloved by Santana, making the dive and getting the out for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Blues leave 1 on base on no hits, no runs, no errors, but still lead 3-0 here at Sinsheimer Stadium. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to Sinsheimer Stadium. I'm Jonah Malkin. That was doing the play-by-play for the 4 through 6 innings, but to finish 7, 8, and 9, my broadcasting partner, Jonathan Rifkin.
Thank you, Jonah. 3-0 the score here as the Blues will look to try to keep the Oaks offense at bay. They only have one hit on the day, or 2 hits, I should say, as Grant Mayu steps in and swings and misses at the first pitch from Mac Lardner for strike 1. On the day for Lardner in his 7th inning of work now as he kicks and fires, though, 1 pitch in the dirt for ball 1. 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and 7 strikeouts. He has been an unbelievable force on the mound here for the Blues as he deals the 1-1. Mayu rips it high to left center field. Running back on it is Judson, and he makes the catch for out number 1. This is an interesting scenario for the Oaks. The last 3 innings where they've really struggled offensively this season, and they are running out of opportunities to come back in this game. No runs, 2 hits, and an error for the Oaks. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Blues as Chase Cockrell steps in. 1 for 2 on the day as he takes a fastball at the knees for a strike. A single-handed ground out in his 2 plate appearances. As Lardner deals, though, 1 pitch, chopped foul. And that'll bring the count to 0-2 now. The Oaks have a tough one tomorrow against the Foresters. If they lose this one, it'll be tough to make up the deficit as the 0-2 pitch is chopped foul again. The Foresters have a 1.5 lead currently above the Oaks. The Oaks drop this one. It'll make it hard for them to work their way up back into that top spot in the Central. They've dropped 2 so far of the last 3 games. They opened up their 8 games in 8 days marathon against the Arroyo Seco Saints. Won that game 7-1 and then lost the last 2 to the Barons. The 0-2 pitch is a 2-hopper to short. Martinez gloves it, takes a step, fires it across the diamond in time for out number 2.
Yeah, and that's why you can't pay attention to the Central Division standings, because although the Blues may be 3-5, they're playing like they're an undefeated team. Ace Mac Lardner playing phenomenally on the mound. He's retired 18 of the first 19 batters. Think about that, Johnny. He's coming into this game 1.74 ERA. That's going to drop to around 1 after this game alone.
As Lewis steps in and hacks at the first pitch, foul for strike 1. And the Blues don't even have a pitch warming up right now. So it is a sweet day on the mound for the Gonzaga Bulldog as he looks to make quick work here of the Oaks again. 2 away, 0-1 pitch coming in is in on the hands. Check swing. They're saying he went around on the appeal to first, and now 0-2 to Brandon Lewis. He's 0 for 2 on the day with a fly out to left and to right. We'll complete the trifecta of flyouts if he can get one to center. The 0-2 pitch is in the dirt, gets away from Emerson, but obviously no runners on base for a ball. 1-2 the count. Lay of the land here for you for the Blues. Out and right is Adam Fogel, and center is Drew Judson. Marco Murillo's in left, Robbie Silva at first, Price Byzantiner at second, Ricky Martinez at short, Tate Samuelson at third. Behind the dishes, Miles Emerson and Lardner. Deals the 1-2 pitch foul, and we'll do it again at 1-2. It has been a tough offensive day for the Oaks. Yesterday they had 10 hits. They lost 10-5 after stranding 13. Today they've only stranded 2 base runners on the 2 they had, as the 1-2 pitch is cut and missed for strike 3. Out number 3, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. 8 strikeouts on the day for Lautner. And he has been shutting out the Oaks thus far. 3-0 the score as we hit the bottom of the 7th. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV, simulcasted onto YouTube. We'll be right back. 3-0 our score as we're in the bottom of the seventh. Welcome back, everybody. Jonah Malkin, myself, Jonathan Rifkin. Evan McMillan is on the mound. The UC Irvine product will look to make quick work of the Blues here and try to give his offense an opportunity to come back in this game. Joe Torres' day is done. 1 inning pitch, no hits, no runs, 1 walk, and no strikeouts. McMillan headed to UC Irvine. He was a Camarillo High School Scorpion back in the day as he deals the first pitch to Ricky Martinez for a strike. Martinez on the day, 2 for 2 with a walk, an RBI single, a double, and a run scored. He's contributed mightily. It hasn't been a bad day for the Oaks overall. They've only given up 5 hits through 7 innings, but they haven't been able to put up any runs of their own, as though one pitch from McMillan is fired in low and outside for ball 1.
Yeah, and I think at this point, Coach Solis looking for, once again, a powerful pitcher, and that's something that Evan McMillan certainly provides. A lot of fastballs, 2-seamers upstairs. Sometimes it comes at a cost, but most of the time when he finds a strike zone, it's powerful.
1-1 pitch is a fastball, 2-hopper over to third, but it's going to go left of the bag into foul territory, and now McMillan is ahead in the count 1-2. For McMillan, he has a sub-4 ERA, but he does have a blown save on this season. That was back against the Blues in that third game at Cal Lutheran when the teams played. The Oaks were up 4-2 in the top of the ninth, and McMillan gave up 2 runs to tie the game. The Blues eventually came on to win, and that resulted in that blown save. Martinez steps back in, digs in at a 1-2 count, and McMillan fires. Swung and missed, a 2-seamer low and away for strike 3. The first strikeout on the day for McMillan, and there's 1 away here now for Drew Judson. On the day from Hendrix College in Austin, Texas, Drew Judson 0 for 2 with the sac fly RBI in the first, a pop out to first in the second, and a ground out to third in the fourth. As he takes a couple of practice swings, shoulders the bat. McMillan toes the rubber, Pearson fires though, pitch upstairs for ball 1. Lay of the land here for you for the Oaks. Brandon Lewis in right, DJ Miller in center, Jordan McFarland in left, Cody Santana at first, Max Weinstein at second, Grant Mayu at short, Chase Cockrell at third, Juan Gonzalez behind the dish, and Nate McMillan fires the 1-0 pitch. It's slapped up too short, gloving it is Mayu, and he'll toss it over to first in time for out number 2.
Yeah, that time Mayu did a nice job of getting in front of the ball, not being lackadaisical with it, gloved it firmly, understood he had full control over it, and quickly tossed it to Santana for a nice out.
Number 3 hitter Price Vizentainer will step in now. The University of Alabama Birmingham product on the day. 1 for 2 with a strikeout, a single, and a walk. He's 1 for 2 on the day in stolen bases, as well as the first pitches in the dirt for ball 1. 5 hits, resulting in 3 runs, no errors for the Blues. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Oaks. It's been a frustrating day for Solis' squad as McMillan deals the 1-0 pitch, 2-seamer inside for ball 2.
Yeah, and McMillan doing a nice job of keeping Vizentainer, keeping these Blues players off guard. Couple inside pitches as well as up high.
The 2-0 fired in from McMillan is blooped into right field. Running in on it is Lewis, though, and he'll make the grab for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base here in the 7th for the Blues, but they still lead 3-0 as we hit the break. Top of the 8th we go. Oaks down 3-0. You're watching Oaks baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back. So I have a deal with Elizabeth that if the Oaks win the championship, I'll buy a night at the presidential suite at the Huntley Hotel in Santa Monica. Oh, yeah, psych. Collectively. I'll tell you what, Jonah. If you want to come in third wheel, you can. I'm paying for mine in Elizabeth's room. You can deal with it. You can pay for that yourself.
In the top of the eighth, Gardner back out there on the mound.
Top of the eighth we go. 3-0 the score. 6, 7, 8 hitters do up for the Oaks. McFarland, Santana, and Gonzalez. And Mac Lardner, the ace, pitching a gem here. A 2-hit shutout.
Yeah, I think a gem, it's almost like an improper word because he's playing, it's like gem on steroids. He's playing unbelievably well. Like we've mentioned, 18 of the first 19 batters retired. You couldn't have asked for a better start.
As McFarland swings and misses at a curveball in the dirt, 0-1 the count. Yeah, he has been unbelievable. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Oaks, 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Blues, as though 1 pitch is a curveball cut on and fouled for strike 2. McFarland on the day 0 for 2, which registers him at 1 for 14 on the season for the Oaks. It has been a rough outing for the Arkansas Razorback. Lardner deals the 0-2 pitch, just missing on the outside corner. 1-2 the count.
And one of the problems is the Oaks players continue to swing on the first couple pitches they see.
As the 1-2 pitch is outside, 2-2 now. And yeah, patience has been the biggest issue for this Oaks offense, especially for McFarland. He's been swinging at bad pitches with 2 flyouts today. The 2-2 from Lardner was cut on and fouled back. That'll leave in the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
The other thing that it does is now it puts so much pressure on the batter because you look up at the scoreboard and you're quickly down in the count 0-2 practically every time you step up into the batter's box.
The 2-2 pitch is an off-speeder, cut foul once again. And I want to go back to July 27, 2016, when the Oaks and the Blues played. It was quite a game between these two teams. The 2-2 pitch is chopped over to third. Samuelson gets it and whips it over to Silva at first for out number 1. So the Oaks had to play the Blues in a day that ultimately decided the playoff fate. And the Blues put up quite a fight. The Oaks were down in the 9th inning, 5-2, and ended up scoring 4 runs to win the game as the first pitch into Cody Santana is taken for a strike. So the Oaks have a history of coming back at Sinsheimer. Last year they went 2 for 3 in games up here. They ended up winning 12-4 in another game as the 0-1 pitch is fired in, swung and missed for strike 2. So yeah, they're down 3-0 in the top of the 8th, but I wouldn't say that there's no hope yet, but Lardner on the mound has been unbelievable. Tyson Qualis is warming up, though, in the pen for the Blues. Lardner toes the rubber, kicks and fires the 0-2 pitch. It's a 2-hopper to short. Martinez gets it and throws it over to first in time for out number 2. So a 5-3 and a 6-3 putout brings Juan Gonzalez up to the plate. Tyson Qualis, the former Oak, still warming up. He has pitched a solid 4 innings here for the Blues in the season and has yet to register an earned run, so he would close things out, I'd assume, after this inning, unless they leave Lardner out there to try to complete the shutout. 2 away, 3-0 to score. Juan Gonzalez up as the first pitch is fired in. Swung on and missed for strike number 1.
I mean, at this point, why wouldn't you give the guy an opportunity to get a complete game and a shutout? He's deserved it.
Gonzalez 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts to see if pops foul. The 0-1 pitch way out of play. 0-2 now. By the way, the 2 catchers, Juan Gonzalez and Zay Williams today, Williams playing DH, are 0 for 4. Both have struck out looking and swinging. As the 0-2 pitch is fired in, and just misses on the outside corner. The entire infield for the Blues actually came trotting into the home plate or into the dugout, but the home plate umpire said, nope, stay out there. As the 1-2 pitch from Larner is taken at the knees for strike 3. His 9th of the game, and we are out of the top of the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. The Oaks are retired in order once again. The Blues lead 3-0 as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back. Robbie Medell. Why is Robbie Medell pitching? All right. Well, our closer's in. Yeah, he's just a reliever. Robbie Medell. Robbie Medell. All right, Rob. I hope that his off day with not being able to figure out the songs doesn't translate to the mound. It's a fast game, but it's been a long. We're only 2 hours in, but it's been a long game because of how ridiculous the offense, how bad the offense has been. I keep hearing rough voice in my head doing the Bottom of the 8th inning we go. Blues up 3-0. Welcome back, everybody. Jonah Malkin, myself, Jonathan Rifkin, and Robbie Medell. The normal closer for the Oaks will come in for some relief work here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Evan McMillan's day is done. 1 inning pitch with a strikeout, nothing else on his line. Medell on the season, 4 innings pitched, 3 for 3 in saves, and is yet to give up a run. And now trying to do some damage control and give the Oaks one more opportunity in the top of the 9th to come back and at least tie this game up. But Nikos Jaludimus steps in. 0 for 2 on the day with a couple strikeouts and a walk. Waits on the first pitch and takes it at the knees for a strike. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Blues. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Oaks as a whole slew of kids are barreling down the hill in front of us as they are enjoying the Blues lead here in Sinsheimer. As Medell comes set, kicks and fires though. 1 pitch, swung and missed for strike 2. Robin Medell from the University of Arizona in his 2nd year with the Oaks. Was one of the most productive closers last year in the CCL. Actually led the Oaks to a championship. He closed out the semifinal game against the Barons when the Oaks won that going 5-2. Also closed out the first game against the Neptune Beach Pearl as well. As the 0-2 pitch is fired into the Texas A&M product inside for ball 1. And mind you, that's the Corpus Christi campus, not the College Station campus.
Yeah, and at this point, Medell's just looking to rejuvenate this entire Oaks team. Maybe if he shows some nice pitches, they'll build some confidence from that moving
He
forward.
fires in the 1-2. Slider cut on and missed for strike 3. Down goes Jahudimus. And that'll bring one away here. And Adam Vogel into the batter's box. 0 for 3 on the day with a strikeout, reach on a fielder's choice, and a flyout. Fogle steps in now. Medell toes the rubber, kicks and fires the first pitch outside for ball one. Sinsheimer Stadium becoming dark now as the sun begins to set behind us in the Santa Cruz Mountains. A beautiful setting here as the 1-0 pitch is ripped foul out of play, and that'll even the count of 1-1. It is just absolutely gorgeous up here in Central California. Still a little bit green from the heavy rains that they had back in February, though the dead of summer is upon us. Summer started just 2 days ago. But low 60s here, and the sky beaming with the orange as the 1-1 pitch is cut on and missed for strike two.
Yeah, not to mention just an incredible showing. Looks about maybe 1,500 people or so, and they're staying loyal to their team, waiting all the way till the bitter end.
A bitter end for the Oaks. If the Oaks end up losing this game, for them it would be a sweet ending. The Blues coming off a loss last night, 10-5 to the Ventura Halos as the 1-2 pitch is ripped into left field. That's going to get down on a two-strike single. Another one-out single here for the Blues, and they have a runner on with the one away in the bottom of the 8th inning. A rare hit given up by Robbie Medell, and that'll bring up Miles Emerson, 2 for 3 on the day in the number 6 spot with a double, a run scored, a single, and a pop-out in his 3 trips.
Yeah, and that was just the 3rd hit given up by Medell in the entire season when he's been on the mound.
Dell normally comes in closing work, but trying to damage control here. One away, one on. Emerson steps in. The first pitch from Medell is taken at the belt for a strike. On first base is Fogle. Doesn't possess too much speed, not where they'll have to worry about him. He's yet to try to steal a base this season as the 0-1 pitch in from the Arizona Wildcat is way outside. Bobbled by Gonzalez, and that'll advance Fogle on the mishandle by the catcher.
Yeah, and those are the types of mistakes that we talked about that it costed the Oaks earlier in the 1st inning when they gave up a run. And although right now it hasn't translated into a run just yet, it may.
One ball, one strike, one on. Runner in scoring position now as Medell steps off. Fogle takes a generous lead, jumps out, and then it comes back in. But he is going to have a conversation now with his catcher, Juan Gonzalez. By the way, that was a pass ball. Gonzalez just bobbled the ball on the transfer, lost it. And he's actually using a new glove. His normal glove broke 2 games ago and had to improvise, so still possibly breaking in that new catching glove. As Medell deals the 1-1 pitch. It's roped over to third, a one-hopper to Cockrell as he checks the runner back to second, throws it over to first, but Emerson actually tests him and runs to third. Santana does not make a throw, and that'll be a productive out here. 2 away, runner at third base now for Marco Maria.
Yeah, and I was actually surprised that Fogle decided to run over to third. It seemed like Cockrell had a pretty good hold on him over at second when he threw it to Santana at first, but heads up play from Fogle puts him in scoring position once again.
On the day from Murillo, 0 for 2 with a walk and a couple of ground outs. As Medell kicks and fires the first pitch, it's swung on a miss for strike 1. Murillo looking to put another insurance run on the board here in the bottom of the 8th inning. As the smell of barbecue wafts in the air here at the ballpark. The fans still buzzing as their team's up 3-0. The 1-0-1 pitch is popped back off the top of the fence and into the group of kids here right in front of us as they track down the ball. 0-2 the count now to the batter. Three runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Blues. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Oaks. It's been a very interesting day because there hasn't been a lot of offense, but the Blues have been capitalizing on what the Oaks have been giving them as the 0-2 pitch just misses inside for ball 1.
Yeah, the Blues batters just taking the pitches that they're being given and making the most of it.
Runner on third, 2 away, 1-2 count. Fired in from Bedell, and it's a 2-hopper to Weinstein at second. He'll get it and quickly get it over to Santana at first for out number 3. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left on base. We're headed to the top of the 9th inning, and the Oaks possible final opportunity to at least tie the game. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. Simulcast it onto YouTube. We will be right back. This is our song. They're playing our song. It's a pass ball. It's not an error. It's just a stupid mistake. Best college tradition right here, baby. I'm talking about shout. Shout is by far the best college tradition. Y'all have your own biases. You got to be an Autzen. Of course. This shout is an amazing tradition. When a stadium of 80,000 people does everything in one motion, nothing's better. I'm not arguing with that fact. I wasn't talking about the team itself. All right, let's go. 3-0 our score in the top of the 9th. 9-1-2 hitters due up for the Oaks as Zane Willems will lead things off here with 2 strikeouts under his belt on the day as Loudner deals the first pitch outside for ball 1. He has 8 innings and has yet to allow a run as Willems rips one over to short. A 1-hopper bounce to Martinez, and he'll come up with it and fire it to Silva at first for out number 1. 1 away now in the top of the 9th, and the Oaks are in danger of dropping their 3rd straight game. They lost 2 to the Academy Barons over the last 2 days, and now down 3-0 and 1 away here in the top of the 9th. DJ Miller will step in on the day, 1 for 3. He has accounted for 1 of the 2 Oaks hits. He flew out in the first and flew out in the 4th to go along with his single. He was 4 for 6 last night against the Barons, and if the Oaks need a hit, he's the guy to get it as the first pitch is low for a ball. By the way, Larner now at 104 pitches. He's been unbelievable here for the Blues as the 1-0 pitch is ripped on and missed for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away, 3-0 our score. As the Gonzaga Bulldog steps back onto mound, toes the rubber, kicks and fires the 1-1 pitch, and it's ripped over to third and sniped out of the air by Samuelson. Fantastic grab by the third baseman, and that'll put 2 outs on the board in the last hope in the Cal Lutheran star, Max Weinstein.
Yeah, and that catch right there pretty much epitomizes the type of game that the Oaks have had this today. You're talking about a grab that's unbelievable. That's just where the balls drop, just constantly in their favor. They've just had it today, and the Blues simply have not.
First pitch to Weinstein is popped to right field, running it on his Fogle, and he's going to let it drop for a single. So Weinstein is now 1 for 4 with a couple of strikeouts, a grounded, and that single. The Oaks have 1 on, and Grant Mayu coming up to the plate on the day. 0 for 3 is the pitching coach. Ed Gravel comes in for the Blues and has a conversation with Lardner, but I have a feeling they're going to keep him out there with 2 away and 1 on. Qualis was warming up earlier for the Blues, but he is still sitting. Runner on first base, 3-0 the score. The Oaks with 3 hits and an error, 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Blues. And if the Oaks are going to do it, they have been productive with 2 outs this entire season. With 2 outs here and a runner at first base. Maybe a little bit of life as Mayu steps in the number 3 spot. The shortstop from San Diego State steps in as Larner deals the first pitch. He swings at it and fouls it back. And Jonah, there's that first pitch swinging again. A lack of patience has been the Achilles heel for the Oaks in the last couple of games, and that's the last thing they need here.
Yeah, and Mayu trying to provide some inch of hope for this Oaks team here in the top of the ninth.
0-1 pitch from Lardner is a curveball low and inside for ball one. Good patience there from Mayu. That one looked good, but ended up with a little bit of tail and dropping inside for a ball.
And those are the types of pitches that the Oaks were swinging on earlier in the game. Make Lardner beat you in this inning and deliver strikes. Don't just swing uncharacteristically just for the fun of it.
Lardner checks on our first and fires the 1-1 pitch. It's blooped over to right field, and that one's going to drop for a single. So back-to-back two-out singles for the Oaks. That'll be the fourth hit on the day, the first for Mayu, and now Chase Cockrell, the big home run hitter, represents the tying run at the plate. Remember, I alluded to how the Oaks came back last year in the ninth inning against the Blues. They can do it again. Chase Cockrell with 2 home runs under his belt. I doubt he'll be aiming for the fences here, but if he sees one he likes, that short 335 left field, I would assume he could get one out. As Lardner deals the first pitch low and outside for ball one. Much of the chagrin of the fans here at Sinsheimer.
Yeah, and that's one of those pitches that Cockrell was itching at hitting, but nice patience. Make Lardner throw strikes.
The 1-0 pitch to Cockrell is swung and missed for a strike. 1-1, a beautiful changeup. And Cockrell was way out in front of it. Waiting on deck is Brandon Lewis if we get that far in the inning. 2 away, 3-0 our score. 2 on, 1-1 count to the Ole Miss Rebel. As the Gonzaga Bulldog kicks and fires, the 1-1 pitch is popped up to shallow right field, running back on into the second fielder, Fizentaner, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. The Oaks get a little bit of life in the inning with those 2 hits on the 2 outs, but they cannot capitalize as Cockrell flies out. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. The Oaks lose 3-0. Final line for you here. The Oaks get no runs on 4 hits, 1 error. They leave 5 on base. The Blues get 3 runs on 5 hits, no errors, and they leave 7 on base. The Oaks now drop to 11-6 overall, 7-6 in CCL play. They're riding a 3-game losing streak. The Blues are at 12-11 now overall, 4-5 in CCL play. The Oaks are really struggling. Jonah, lackluster offense performance for the second time. Dumb mistakes in the field that have been resulting in unnecessary runs. What's the key here for this team? Why can't they win, and what needs to change, especially with the Foresters looming tomorrow?
Yeah, I got to tell you, I don't know, Johnny, because on the one hand, you look at the game a few days ago when they faced the Barons and they had enough runs to win that game. Then you look at yesterday on the road against the Barons, and you tip your hat to the Barons players that generated 13 hits to score 10, along with a grand slam, which was the first grand slam we'd seen all season. And in this game, you literally have to attribute it to just the incredible performance on the mound from Lardner. And because of Lardner's ability to close out these Oaks batters quickly, it heightens the level of focus that needed to be here for the Oaks, especially in the infield. As you mentioned, one costly error, but it really was detrimental to this team and really held them back. And so unfortunately, they're going to have to recalibrate tomorrow against a tough Foresters team and try and find a way to generate some hits.
Generating hits is what the Oaks need to do. Lardner gets the win. DeCiglio with the loss. No save as Lardner goes 9 innings strong, gives up 4 hits, no runs, no walks, and 9 strikeouts. That's going to do it for us here on the broadcast. Oaks drop it 3-0 for Coach David Solis, our team ops guy Chris Ruffinelli, our statistician Keith Schneider. A big thank you to the hospitable San Luis Obispo Blues, their statistician Jason Amberg, and their broadcaster David Ellington, my broadcasting partner and good friend Jonah Malkin. My name is Jonathan Rifkin. We'll see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock when the Oaks take on the Santa Barbara Foresters at Pershing Park. 4:50 pregame. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Friday evening and Saturday morning. My name is Jonathan Rifkin, wishing you a very hearty good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow in Santa Barbara. Once again, the Blues beat the Oaks 3-0.